Hello and welcome to another episode of Oxygen Not Included. Sorry about not being able to upload yesterday as the new update had just come out for this game and it had just absolutely killed my game, and so I was waiting for a day for a bunch of the mods, mod managers and stuff like that to update their mods to get it to work. But since then, the only thing I've done is I've gone ahead and mined out some more of our secondary asteroid. I've gone ahead and gave them some Atmos suits as well. On the main asteroid, nothing really too big has happened, but we have sent out a rocket ship a couple of times to explore just a bit more of the map. We've discovered a helium cloud, organic mass, an interstellar ocean, etc., etc., and we've discovered one new asteroid, that being Phrygia, which is metal rich, with a 10,000 lux peak light and an iron volcano. So that's pretty exciting. So the new update has come out and it's mostly focusing on more what they call is story content, right? With the new places of interest such as like the Dream Place and I think there was one other building, but because we've already created this world, we don't actually have those, I don't think. However, one thing they did add, which is something that I've been really excited about, is they finally added in the kitchen as an actual like room that can give benefits, right? And this kitchen gives the benefit of using the spice grinder. Now the spice grinder can be found way up here for just the basic research and the supercomputer research. You can get yourself your spice grinder underneath food repurposing, right? With that, all you need to do is go into stations, and you can go and find yourself, I lied, it's in food. Yep, there we go, spice grinder. And you can just throw that in here. I'm going to put it in the range of our auto sweeper. By the way, all I've done is just, I got rid of the sculptures in this room and just made our kitchen slightly bigger. But with that... Oh, it has to have a refrigerator. Interesting. We don't have a need for a refrigerator, but we can throw one in. Just have it not be used. Yep, there we go. Kitchen. I don't like how it's the same color as the Great Hall. I wish they picked a different color. But it makes sense because it's food related. Such as the massage clinic and the hospital, greenhouse and stables, etc., etc. So now that we've gotten ourselves a spice grinder, you can go over here and you can look at your spices, right? And you can tell it what foods to put the spice grinder on. Like, so, for example, we'll say gristleberry, right? Because we've started growing some gristleberry for our rocket ship to have food inside. Speaking of, how much gristleberry did we have? 26,000? And then we can come over here and we have the freshener spice, which slows the rate of food decomposition. Just takes salt and mealwood. The rocketeer, the brawny, and the machinist. They do pretty much what they say, right? Machinist will give you a boost to operating. Brawny gives you a boost to, you know, strength, right? Rocketeer, piloting, freshness. The freshness one I think is actually pretty neat. So we can go ahead and set that. I don't know. I assume it's just gonna go. Oh, yep, there it goes. Oh, would you look at that? Yep, now it's seasoned. Interesting. Properties? Girls? Yeah. Huh. Okay, well, that's it. Now this room doesn't give any morale bonuses or anything, but it does, you know, they can now do stuff with the spice grinder, which I think is interesting. So, from there, I'm gonna do what we talked about before, which is, right, we're running out of petroleum, and we use a lot of petroleum every time we launch our rocket. And to fix this, we need crude oil back over here. So I've gone ahead what we're gonna do is just build a little box around our oil reservoir here. And we're gonna probably sweep up everything inside. Go ahead and get our water locks set up. And then we're gonna go ahead and get into utilities and set up an oil well. Now this is gonna get pretty darn hot in here. So I think we're actually gonna want to transfer some steel over. We'll do that, and we'll say manufactured material, steel. So we're gonna go ahead and let them make that steel and send it over. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and go to utilities. We're gonna grab that oil well. We're gonna set steel. I'm just gonna put that in right there. Now this does, I believe, require water, if I'm not mistaken. Trash crude oil using clean water. Yeah, okay, so we've already set up a pump down here. So we can filter out the water, right? So we'll cut it right there. Now the only thing we really want is polluted water and maybe clean water. So we're just going. So is this even plugged in, by the way? It is. Oh, it's not pumping it. Oh, because there's nowhere to pump to. I'm silly. I know how this game works, I promise. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and set up our mesh tiles. And we'll go ahead and do refinement, water sieve. And we'll plug that bad boy in. Set up our pipe. This can be deconstructed. This can be deconstructed now. Okay, so how much power does this take? 240? We'll go ahead and set up a power transformer. Plug that in. And go ahead and get our heavy watt and run this down the center. Now we don't really need this power wire because we can hook up the pump to the new one. So we can have them deconstruct that. And then I'm thinking we'll go ahead and take this wire and just run it one over. Like so. Yep, and then we can run the large power wire. We'll say right through here. Just like so. And then we can plug everything else in. Just like so. Alright, well I'm going to let them go ahead and build that, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so now while they are about finished building the main body of this, we're going to go ahead and set up the second half. Which is going to be our steel liquid pump down here. Now it needs to be steel because it's going to get real hot. And it will. This is going to be outputting crude oil at... well, let's... Tell me how hot the crude oil is, but I know it is really hot. So... get that started and get that set up. And then we're gonna go ahead and get our insulated pipe out of there. Try to come up and then jump across. Whoops. Just like so. Okay. Alrighty. We've gone ahead and got that going. And I think we should have a good amount of bristleberry built up. We do. And I think hopefully most of it should be spiced, so we're going to go ahead and come over here and tell it to put in bristleberry for our food. We'll let some duplicates go ahead and put that up. And we're going to tell this rocket to go somewhere new, right? We've gone ahead and explored to the left, the north, to the east. Thinking we're going to go south this time. And it says that we don't have any fertilizer to put in there, but I know we do. Some people are taking care of it. So. What, so spice is 6%. Okay, so we're actually losing no freshness per cycle. I don't see how. It should be minus 1% per cycle. I don't quite understand how the math adds up. But we're losing 3% per cycle because it's only refrigerated. We're losing 4 per cycle because it's in a normal atmosphere. But we're gaining 6% per cycle because of the freshness spice. So that's actually really good for only mealwood seeds. That's a very good thing. Wow, okay. Yeah. So let's go tell this bad boy to go, yep, let's do actually, yeah, let's do 3 tiles, because then we do 4 or 5 and come back. And I think we can begin launch sequence. Just to make sure we have plenty of water. Yep. I think we should, because this should still be hooked up. You need to keep an eye on it, yeah, because you can see the water starting to freeze in the pipe. And that can cause some damaging in the future. So just something I should be aware of. Yeah, I'm gonna put soup. And Meep can go ahead and get back to what he does best, which is hurtling himself through space in a rocket. Alright, so it seems like we've run out of power. AKA, I'm using a lot of power in this oil well that the 2 solar panels I've been powering this whole place on are not able to catch up with. So, because of that, what we're gonna do is just build more, because that is the easiest. Alrighty, so while we're going ahead and building up those spare solar panels, apparently discovered a new planetoid, that being Adura. Sure. It has no unusual features. 80,000 lux of peak light, chlorine gas vent space, and the Moo biome, where we'll go ahead and find gassy moos. Also found ourselves a forested ore field. And it looks like we're still looking at some unknown objects that may be other future asteroids. So, we will see. Alrighty, so one last thing, I think, with our little setup here, and that being, well, first of all, we've gone ahead and set up a couple more solar panels, and this can also help with our power problem. I'm thinking we can go ahead and set up a natural gas generator, right? With this, we'll be able to output a bit of polluted water using natural gas, and we're producing natural gas from our oil well here. And we need water to run the oil well. I don't think it's enough to make up for the amount of water it uses, but I think it will definitely at least just slow the process of us consuming all of our water. Let me go ahead and set up a natural gas generator over here. Do that. And have this go underneath like so. We'll plug that in just like that. Now I don't know exactly how much natural gas we're producing each. We're emitting crude oil. Is it under properties? Mass, uptime, temperature, yada yada yada. No errands, no energy. No. All I know is that it's emitting a lot of natural gas there. So we can go ahead and set up a pump like that with steel and have it come up. We'll do a gas filter. We'll have the excess come out and go into a high pressure vent. And we'll have the natural gas come into there. Now it seems like we're missing refined metal and a plastic. We'll go ahead and tell our colony to send a bit of plastic over and send a bit of copper. Oh, no, we have plenty of refined metal. It's plastic that we're out of. We'll go ahead and let them send a bit of plastic over. No need to send any more. That should be fine. So with that, we should be able to, build this. Put that right there. And then priority 4, sweet. Go ahead and let that load. Thinking we're gonna deconstruct this and replace it with a proper large power transformer. If it'll load. Thing is being a little slow because we're gonna have to plug in our gas pipe and our filter. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace all these wires with the correct ones. Alrighty, so we've gone ahead and set it up. We should have this guy out here. Yep, getting all of our natural gas into this, which is going to be outputting it as polluted water and carbon dioxide. Perfect, perfect, perfect. One thing we need to keep aware of, this place may start warming up a bit, and that's just something we gotta keep aware of. Make sure we don't allow it to get too darn hot. As you see, the crude oil is at like 80 something degrees Celsius, by the way, so the crude oil does get really hot. And we do have all this carbon dioxide being made here, and we got ourselves some slicksters, so we could also turn that into a profitable thing if we go ahead and get our Jean here hooked into critter ranching as well as farming and grilling. Which is, you know, very, very, very plausible. So, I'm gonna go ahead and set that up as well. Just want to make sure everyone's got suit wearing capabilities. It's just all that and that? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. May not be the best. We'll have to see. But got that set up. Nice, nice, nice. We've of course got our rocket on their way. Oh, the rockets are actually already landed. So we can go ahead and Bristleberry is still losing 0% per cycle, so we can honestly just stay there. No point in taking it out of the rocket ship. And we should have a good amount of crude oil coming in now. Yep. Which means that should be working pretty darn well. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, I had to put a cooling loop in our Draco ranch because it was starting to heat up. And the mealwood wasn't growing like it was before. But we've got that set up now, and it's all good. Now, I wanted to real quickly check which one uses the blossom seed. Okay. So the machinist spice uses blossom seeds and slime. Ew. The slime is not the best. That's a really poor choice in my opinion. And almost not making this worth it. Because I was about to say, we're making blossom seeds, but I don't really want to lug slime lung into my base for it. So that's an interesting choice. But it's okay, it doesn't really matter, I guess, for now. Alrighty, so the next thing I wanted to work on was well, actually, first of all, is this my only neurovacillator? And that really sucks because I wanted to build it right up here against the side. I can't really do that, the neurovacillator's there. I can just delete the neurovacillator, you know, deconstruct it, but then I won't have a neurovacillator on this asteroid. So what I was thinking was, something I like to do in these games sometimes is a little known, I guess you could view it as like a workaround or as like a known exploit, and that's steam engine rockets. What's cool about steam engine rockets is you can go ahead and fill them up with steam, and that steam is used for how far they can travel in space. However, every rocket that you launch from an asteroid produces a gas as it's thrusting out of the asteroid and into your star map, right? And this goes for the normal game and also spaced out. The gas that it's extinguishing on the asteroid while the rocket's still physically sitting here, right? So when it starts launching and makes the animation and starts making a bunch of carbon dioxide around it, that carbon dioxide isn't fuel for the rocket. It's creating that out of thin air, just for like the effect, right? So if you have a carbon dioxide engine and it starts launching, a bunch of carbon dioxide will go everywhere, but it's not taking that from the carbon dioxide engine. The carbon dioxide engine's still 100% full, and it's going to use all that when it's actually in the star map. So because of this, you can take steam engine rockets and launch them all the way from the bottom of your map, all the way to space, over and over again, and produce infinite steam, because they produce more steam than they use to just launch out of the planet and land back, meaning you can just use the steam they just created to refuel themselves, and then all the excess steam you can hook up to a bunch of steam turbines and create infinite water, which is absurd, but really fun to do in my opinion. So I'm thinking about setting that up, but our neurovacillator is like right in the way, and we don't really have a whole lot of other places to build it. I guess we could build it over here on the left, but we have this in the way, and this guy's kind of in the way. I guess I could tuck this a little closer. We wouldn't have a whole lot of room to work with, because we'd have to build a wall here, which means we'd only have this amount of room, which, granted, is less gas for me to extinguish out, but it would be a pain. Can I even fit a rocket platform, like, in there? I don't know. Let's make a bunch of steel real quick, and let's see what we can work with here. Okay, so I can get away with it It would just be one rocket. And I'd be able to keep my neurovacillator. So, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and go to Igneous Rock. And we're going to create a floor. That should be good. And then we'll just go to that edge. And then we'll say rocket platform right here in the middle. Oof. Not a lot of room, but I can make it work. We'll then have to go up all the way to the ceiling. Oh, that is a tight fit. Just along there also. Okay, so I normally have this chimney big enough for 2 rockets, but looks like we're just going to make one big enough for just 1 rocket. Just to fit our side. Technically, I could shave slowly over time all this neutronium, but that sounds like a lot of effort that I don't really want to deal with right now. Maybe in the future. Well, we know that fits. So that is good. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel these 2 up here and do our liquid lock. Now this liquid lock cannot be water, right? Because you're gonna have hot steam on one side. And the hot steam is going to turn the water into more steam. So what I suggest you use is crude oil. Crude oil can get pretty hot before it actually turns into petroleum. And if it does turn into petroleum, it'll still be petroleum and it won't turn into a gas and it won't be that big of a deal. Also, crude oil doesn't transfer heat very quickly. And it's going to be really, really hot in here. So that's going to be a positive. Speaking of hot, well, not speaking of hot at all, but we're going to go ahead and build a vertical ladder along the inside here so my duplicants can go ahead and start constructing that. I can deconstruct that. Also over here, I've gone ahead and realized that we're going to have to set up the second chlorine room. Because I've just honestly just completely forgotten. And our tank's almost full. So I've gone ahead and set this up. And now all we need to do is... I could vent it out, but I'm just going to fill it up with blocks because that'll be quicker and easier. Alrighty, so we've gone ahead and made our chlorine room. It is set up automation-wise. It's the exact same design as before, except for some of the machines are backwards. The other one, I think we had input on the left and it's exiting the right. This one has input on the right, exiting the left. So, the water comes in here, goes out there. Progress on our big chimney is underway. Probably take a little while to do. I think in between episodes what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this finished, and then I'm going to extend it all the way up to the surface. Just like so. And then dig out all of this and just let the vacuum of space and probably some pumps, some gas pumps, turn this entire thing to a vacuum, because you don't want any other gases in here. You just want steam in here, so as to not block up and gunk up your steam turbines, so they can work at 100% efficiency. So, alrighty, well, I'm going to end today's episode there. I think we gone ahead and got some stuff done. We set up our new spice grinder. We've done the beginnings of our steam chimney, and we've gone ahead and set up a chlorine room over here, and gotten crude oil set up over here. I should set up a automation thing real quick. Over here that just basically says like, oh, if the crude oil reaches this point, turn the machine off. Toilets. Why? Why does it say a toilet isn't working? They're all getting water. The water is backed up. Oh, they just urgently need to use the restroom. Okay. Okay. I was about to say, why are my toilets messed up? Okay. That's not too big of a deal. They should be able to make their way there. Nope, never mind. They did not make their way there. Stinky! Okay, Stinky, please take your suit off. And then go put your suit back on. Oh, great. Now we have to deal with this polluted polluted water down here. That'll be fun. But, alrighty. I will see y'all in a future video, whether it be this one or my new Grounded series that I just started. Grounded's a game that's not as related to this game, but I think it's really fun. I highly suggest you check it out, just see if you like it. But I hope to see you all in another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a nice day.